Is the RBA calling Australians lazy? Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Got my stein of coffee, and I thought we'd go through this article from the Daily Mail, because it's quite an interesting one. Australia's top banker slams bosses for failing to employ more people, fearing lazy entrepreneurs will make the pandemic crisis even worse. Even worse. Okay? So he's blaming lazy entrepreneurs here in Australia, lazy Australians, will make it even worse. Will make it even, coming from the Reserve Bank, everyone. The Reserve Bank that's intervening in the market. The Reserve Bank that wanted to, or even was internal communications, confidential ones, was suggesting shutting down the real estate industry. They're blaming businesses, bosses, for being lazy. I think it's... I'm hoping the Daily Mail have been hyperbolic in this title to get some attention, but maybe not. What do you think? Are the true colours of the Reserve Bank coming out now? But here's another question. Here's another thing. What if he's right? What if he's right? Is Australia an entrepreneurial nation? They all say, we're the innovative nation. We're the innovative nation. I'm going to bring up one of my favourite websites that just shows the concerns with this. That shows the concerns with this. This is our Australia. This is the complexity in the world of our economy. We're 73rd in the world. We're 73rd in the world. Other countries beat us. Other countries that people will proudly say are worse than Australia, they're beating us. They're more complex. They're producing more advanced things. We're just exporting primitive things. Everything advanced that you have in front of you is imported. Nothing's manufactured here. There's article after article now in the media about stupid people. Frankly, that's the only way to say it. Stupid people not realizing everything in Kmart's from China. I mean, how can you not realize that? I mean, come on. And where has all our innovation gone? Where has all our entrepreneurial flair gone? We used to be quite a colony on the edge of the world that really strived and innovated because we had to. Now it's all just gone into housing. Most of our wealth has gone into housing. 57%. Everyone goes into housing. Remember the article about the teacher? He had 6 properties, negative geared, paying interest only. That was our innovation there. That's an example of our innovation. Everything else heads offshore. Because the market is just there. The market's there. We're a test lab. We're tiny. So, the Reserve Bank of Australia worried about Australia's lack of entrepreneurial flair. Governor Philip Lowe said too few new firms are being set up before the pandemic. Well, tough times were already here. That's why. The central bank fears unemployment will hit a 26-year high of 10% by June, and policymakers are bracing for the steepest downturn since the 1930s depression. Australia's most senior banker has slammed bosses for failing to hire new people, fearing lack of innovators will worsen the pandemic crisis. Well, I mean, why would you hire new people now? You will do. Just look at our industrial relations. We've looked at that in other videos today. It's a real pain. It is not easy. It is difficult. You can't fire people easily. That's the thing. If you want to increase employment, if you want to increase more people getting into the job market, you need to remove the impositions on it. It's very highly regulated. You're treated, you have to treat your staff as children in some ways. And if they're crap, you have to jump through a lot of hoops to cut them. And I know there'll be idiots there going, oh, well, if you can't do that, then you can't run a business. Yeah, well, that's called entrepreneurship. People won't run it. You'll go offshore. You'll scale back and become more efficient. You won't hire people that are a pain in the ass. And if that includes people in the industrial relations system in this nation, that's what it is. That's why I'd argue you're not hiring people. Reserve Bank of Australia Governor Philip Lowe said there was a lack of economic dynamism in Australia as the first recession in 29 years loomed. And he's right there. He's right there. We're an iron ore republic. I've been concerned about this for some years, and I'm even more concerned about it now, Dr. Lowe told the Australian National University Leadership Forum. I mean, this is the perfect image here for this, isn't it? Empty police businesses. I mean, these aren't even businesses that you push. It's just more of the property. More property. The head of Australia's central bank, who earns more than $1 million a year, said that even before the pandemic, too few new businesses were being set up. I mean, okay, who cares what he earns? But it is The Guardian. Oh, sorry, the Daily Mail feels like The Guardian. Before the virus hit, we saw slow rates of business formation, he said. We saw low rates of job switching, and we saw reduced research and development expenditure in Australia. R&D. I've become such a cynic with regards to research and development here in Australia, particularly in commercial, when I experienced it firsthand. We hired a warehouse from an industrial designer. He owned the building. And at the back, he had this little thing he attached on the back. You know, all router-carded little attachment. Look great, a great little enclosed balcony space. And he was saying how he got R&D grants from the government. He actually got more money for it than he spent on it. It wasn't that innovative, I guess. But there you go. That's part of our research and development, everyone. So all those people who are saying you need government to fund it, yeah, sure. They're all signs we're not as dynamic as we used to be. Australia's unemployment rate in May surged to a 19-year high of 7.1%, following 2 full months of pandemic shutdowns of non-essential businesses. This occurred as 227,000 people last month either lost their jobs or gave up looking for one. This is the biggest problem. People leaving the workforce. In April, close to 600,000 workers in the same position left the labour market, which saw the jobless rate rise from 5.2% to 6.4%. Since mid-March, shortly before the shutdowns, 980,000 jobs have been lost, the AB's Australian Bureau of Statistics payroll data showed. Nearly 1 million jobs, everyone. Nearly 1 million jobs. This isn't going to be a small recession. Well, in some ways, we need some tough times to wake up and re-energize our entrepreneurial spirit. But we also need the political will to allow us to capitalize on it. I don't know if it's there. The Reserve Bank is expecting Australia's jobless rate to hit 10% by June, a level unseen since 1994. Dr. Lowe said, the over-regulation of business was preventing entrepreneurs from setting up new businesses. 100% there. Right, Doctor. Yep, 100%. The over-regulation of business. Bloody oath. Bloody oath. If you haven't jumped through all the hoops that you need to start a business, you've got no idea how painful it is, how much red tape it is, how much cost it adds to you. All just the paperwork you need to do. That's all cost. That's time. That's not of any productive value, everyone. That's not your core business. Do you think as an architect I like doing paperwork for government organizations? I hate it with a passion. With a passion. But, you know, the society's attitude to risk-taking, the nature and extent of regulation, the tendency to regulate whenever we see a problem, 100%. Incentives we set up in the tax system for entrepreneurship and the arrangements for research and development, they're all things that make us less dynamic, he said. Well, just think about it. Here's the issue with regards to negative gearing and just the focus on property. The problem is, everyone, it pulls investment away from other parts of the economy and puts it into property. So we get property. Property isn't that innovative, everyone. It's not that advanced. You know, we work on large format volumetric modular buildings, factory assembled, that has certain advantages, particularly time frame and reduced time on site. You can work in the weather, but there are other costs associated with it. It's not that advanced, guys. The fabrication methodology is just centrally located. It's not distributed. I've only met one person that was using robotic construction in modular construction, and sadly, his business went under. So, the RBA and Treasury are both bracing for the worst economic downturn since the 30s Great Depression, amid fears GDP will plunge by 10% in the first half of 2020, the equivalent of 4.5 years of economic activity. In a sign of things to come, the Department of Social Services revealed earlier this month the number of people on JobSeeker, covering unemployment, sickness and youth allowance benefits, surged by 300,000 in just 1 month, climbing from 1.3 million to 1.6 million. While some businesses are slowly reopening, many businesses across Australia remain closed or open in a restricted form as social distancing rules remain in place. How many of those businesses wouldn't be viable without JobKeeper? Despite this, Prime Minister Scott Morrison is adamant the $70 billion JobKeeper program providing $1,500 a fortnight wage subsidy won't be extended beyond the September date. So there you have it, everyone. Probably some harsh truth bombs from the governor of the Reserve Bank. There's only so much he can do. His useful tool is the cash rate. There needs to be a political will to have other... We need to stop incentivizing the economy to move in the direction that it does and free it up to allow entrepreneurs to rise up. I'd argue we need special economic regions, and let's compare. Let's try a few different political ideologies around the country with regards to economic intervention, and let's test them and compete them. Why not? Why not? Wouldn't you like a free part of the country? Let's just say, a city, no minimum wage, then get rid of other taxes to offset it. Let's see what happens there. Let's make it easier for businesses. Do you see the political will to reform industrial relation? Do you see the political will to reform taxation? Maybe this can be the one good thing that comes out of this huge intervention into the economy, and the benefit, the silver lining to the pandemic. What do you think, everyone? What do you think is just wrong? We're not lazy entrepreneurs. Aussie all the way, Or I won't get out of bed for less than $100 an hour, Oh no, I need to have 5 written warnings if I make a mistake. Oh, you can't find me. I work hard. Do people not understand how that disincentivizes people to set up businesses here? What do you think? Am I being unfair? Is the Reserve Bank governor being unfair? Let us know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and you want to support the content I create here, there are a few ways you can. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us via our affiliate links at Amazon or eBay or Independent Reserve and Kucoin. You can buy our merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you next time.